Welcome to renovating number 5. Follow us on our journey through the highs and lows of renovating our new adventure. Last time on renovating number 5, we finally got the keys and took you on a tour of the house. On this episode, we'll tackle what lies beneath and try and figure out the issues with the dodgy piers.
So when we first purchased number 5, we knew there were some challenges with the piers and movement in the piers under the building. This was evident based on the hump in the lounge room. There was actually an inspection done by a building inspector which showed that there was some movement but nothing to be too concerned about. I'm not sure if you can see the second pier there. Don't actually think that one is sitting in any concrete, so there's more than a few issues with the piers. So this is that second pier, and as you can see, it's not even touching the bearer at the top there, and if I give it a bit of a shove, you can see that the pier is snapped halfway along, the footing's loose, and there's no weight on it. And if we look at the pier behind it, you can see there's quite a lean on it, so there's quite a lot to do under here. We think there's about 8 piers that need replacing. One of the other concerns we have is that all of these piers have been chopped up at some point with wood, and the ones at the other end of the house that we'll look at in a minute have been chopped up about 50 millimeters, and it's that's caused the bearers to snap and causes the hump running along the front of the house. But again, from here you can see that they're not particularly upright. So this is the pier at the other end of the house, and you can see although the pier is one of the better upright and stable ones, it's been jacked up about 50 millimeters at the top. I can get the torch in there, and at some point someone's cut an easement in the bearer to allow that to open up and not snap, but in doing so they've raised the floor far too high in this part of the house. To try and work out where the actual levels are, I've taken a line from the back wall and piers right the way along through to the front wall and piers. So that in itself isn't level, but if I can get you further back and some light on there, so you can sort of see where it needs to be and where it currently is. I'm going to go around now and measure the piers and mark the piers. We've decided to use adjustable metal posts as opposed to brick piers, because this gives us some flexibility in the future to raise and lower the floor level if there's movement again. You can see that the ground here is very dry at the moment, and it's a clay base, so there is an expectation of some movement over time. So I just clear to the bottom of the pier to get to the footing that's there, and you can see that up to the ant resistant clay we're at 1,000 millimeters or a meter, so that one's a meter. So just going to mark these off so I know which ones I've measured and also which ones I'm going to replace. I've also got a friend coming to look at these later in the week to get his view on them, so that'll help for him to see which ones we think we need to do. Just taking a look at this pier, which is a bit untidy but is upright and quite solid, but as you can see at the top, the bearer isn't even sitting on the top of the pier, so that pier is bearing no weight at all. If we look at the next one along, that's been packed up. This is a reasonably upright pier as well, but we think that was some old packing, the original packing here at some point, but then there's this sort of thin layer of packing which isn't even hardwood, not sure exactly what it is. And if we look above the bearer, we can see that someone's from above through the floorboards and cut an easement to allow that to bend up, and that's happened on a few of these. So what we think we're going to do is, once we get the piers replaced and the house level, we're going to effectively bolt some timbers, some new timbers to these existing ones. This one here is the bearer sat on a knot, so if we look from the other side, which I can't get to right now, but you'll see that the knot split and the bearer has effectively snapped in two. Showing this one for comedy value. As you can see, the bearer is only just sitting on the edge of the pier. I guess what's comical is that the surveyor that looked at this said this was to be expected with a property of this age. Those things, we thought that we could at least take this pier out, have a look and see what sort of foundations it's on, and maybe put a new foundation in on this one whilst we're here. So I'll find someone to put you and let you have a look. That it was in, so it was 2 courses of bricks, and if you look closer you can see that the clay that's dry goes down to at least 1 course of bricks, so it's not surprising that they moved. So we're going to clean this out and put a concrete pad in there, get a plumb line in so that we can have it directly above the 2 bearers that are there, and we'll bring you back when we're doing that. So we're just cleaning out the excavated hole. We've got quite a lot of spoil out. We're probably more than double the depth of the original footing, and we're going to go with all concrete. We'd rather over-engineer it than under-engineer it. The metal posts that we're using are adjustable, so we've ordered the ones that are the sort of right height, and then you adjust them on site. We just got to put a plumb line in and make sure that we are over the top of the hole. I'm just going to measure it out and make sure it's deep enough. It always looks deeper until you put a tape on it. Anyway, let's throw the plumb line in. So I don't know if you can see that, but we think that's probably just about right. It's got to go back 1.5 inches, 30 mil that way, so that should be fine. We'll just grab a tape and check the depth, pull the plumb line out of the way. Yeah, so we're a good nearly 300 into decent soil, 400 to the crusty top. So we're going to mix some concrete up. We've got a ready mix, nice and easy. Quick dry, we'll get a level in and bring you back when we're ready to pour it. job done. On to the next one.
Next time on renovating number 5, we'll install the Uni-piers and attempt to level out the house. Join our adventure, like, subscribe and share. Thanks for watching.